How to get rid of razor bumps for a bald head, my experience and my advice. So let's get straight to it here. Okay, so if you guys are dealing with razor bumps, irritation, itchiness, burning, and things like that, and you have a bald head, what I would suggest through my personal experience of doing a lot of trial and error for the last almost 6 years of cutting my own hair, what I would recommend is that if you're going through that now, let your scalp heal. Just stop doing anything to it. Okay? And I know you may be saying to yourself, like, okay, well, I don't want to walk around with bald spots. I don't want to look like George Jefferson out here or whatever. Like, look, in all seriousness, if that's what it takes to heal your scalp, go for it. It's worth it, because I was in that same boat before where I would use different products, and you can scroll through my videos and see some of the products that I used to use to shave my head bald. I mean, now I just use the Andes T outliners now. That's all I use. But anyway, getting back to this, what I ran into, I used to use different products, and I would bump up, I would get irritated, itchiness, a little bit of redness and stuff like that. And sometimes it would be obvious. You would obviously see the little bumps and the redness and stuff like that. And it wasn't a good thing to see. It wasn't a good thing to feel. It wasn't a good thing to experience. And what I began to learn was that instead of giving it a few days or a week to grow back in and then cut it again and try something else, nope. I would not recommend. This is my personal experience. I'm not a barber. I'm not a professional. I'm just a guy on here sharing my personal experiences, hoping that it will help somebody. Okay. Anyway, but through my personal experience, I would never do that again. What I began to learn was that, okay, you have to let your scalp heal. Okay. So you may have bumps, you may have irritation, redness, itchiness, whatever. Okay, that's unfortunate, but just don't keep trying to shave over your scalp, trim it, whatever. Just let your scalp heal. I mean, you might be out here looking like George Jefferson. You might be out here obvious bald spots. Like I used to go out here with bald spots all the time because I'm letting my scalp heal. I would be obviously bald here in the front and in the crown as well. Okay. And what I began to learn, it took me some time, but what I began to learn was that, okay, when you're dealing with some type of irritation like that, you just have to fall back and just let your hair grow back in, let it heal, moisturize your scalp and all of those good things. Okay, especially with natural oils, I would highly suggest that, using natural oils. I usually just use jojoba oil. Let your scalp heal. It may take a month. Maybe it'll only take a couple of weeks, but until that itchiness and that burning and that discomfort subsides, whenever that is for you, once that subsides and it stops, that's when I would suggest, okay, now try a different method. Okay, so if the method that you tried was using a razor blade, okay, and it gave you those bumps, it gave you that itchiness or that inflamed feeling or whatever you had, I would suggest don't do that again. Let your scalp heal. Okay, and then try a different method. Okay, so next time you may try a skull shaver or whatever. Okay, and then the same thing, if that one irritates you, if it gives you issues, burning, redness, bumps, itchiness, discomfort, again, let your scalp heal. It may take a couple weeks, it may take a month. Okay, and you may have to be out here, with bald spots or something like that, but at the end of the day, your health is more important than how you look. I know that may be a tough pill to swallow for a lot of people, but I mean, it just got to a point where not that I didn't care how I look or anything like that, but it's like, okay, to me, it's like, okay, would I rather just obviously be out here with bald spots, showing my baldness, but my scalp is healing, or would I would rather just keep going over those bumps, keep shaving over them, keep trimming over them or whatever, making it worse and things like that. I chose the ugly route, I guess you would say. Just let the bald spots show, let your scalp heal, and I kid you not, when I was doing that, like I would have itchiness and bumps and stuff like that, I would give myself I would say anywhere between 2 weeks and a month for it to heal. I kid you not. When I cut it again, especially using these Andis T outliners only, again, this is my personal experience, okay? But especially using these Andis T outliners only, I kid you not, my scalp would heal so well, And if I can go back and do it again, I would document it. But just keeping it real, it's so easy here on YouTube to get caught up in only showing all the good stuff. You don't want to show the bad videos. You don't want to show the bad experiences. Oh man, I don't want to make videos and I got all this irritation on my head and stuff like that. I may lose views or whatever. I'm just keeping it real. That thought can cross your mind, as a YouTuber here like me. But I wish I would have documented that and shown you guys that, because as you can see, like my scalp now, in my opinion, it's pretty smooth. Okay, I don't have any bumps. I don't have any nicks. I don't have any red dots or marks or whatever. I don't have any of that going on with my scalp, but it was a point in time where, right here I had bumps, and it was obvious. You can like see them. It was like little red bumps and stuff like that. And it just came from trial and error. That from me just cutting my hair, not that I was doing anything wrong, but just trial and error. As you guys know, some things, they bump you up that don't bump me up, It's weird like that when you in the bald head community, But anyway, what worked best for me was just time. Again, if you have any of that stuff going on, let your scalp heal. Like for real, So find what works best for you. Razors may work best for you. If that's the case, then so be it. Trimmers like the ones that I use, and this T outliners or whatever else is out there like that that's similar to this, Wall, or I'm pretty sure there's other things that are similar to these that are on the market, that you can get on Amazon or whatever. If that's what works best for you and doesn't give you bumps and irritation and stuff like that, I would say just keep using that. Or maybe the Skull shaver works best for you. Maybe a shaver like this works best for you. This is one of those products that I used to use. I used to go across my head with the Andis T outliners, okay? Which again, like I say, these work great, no irritation whatsoever. And then what I would do, I would come back, and this would get me like even closer. I would be baby smooth, super smooth. Once I put these on and went across my whole head, the only problem is, again, not knocking this brand, but this is fantastic. It's great. It's not for me on my head, because I tell you this. That first day, and I'm pretty sure you guys had that experience. That first day, you be feeling smooth. You're like, oh man, I love these. Oh man, I'm feeling smooth. I'm feeling soft. This just feels good. Then sometimes even later on in that day, especially that next day though, that itchiness starts coming. It starts off with like a slight little itch, and before you know it, you just red. And I feel like I don't have to explain it. I feel like you guys, already know that experience to a certain extent, especially if you're watching this video, okay? But I want to use these on my head, but I can't. It's just one of those realities, and it sucks because it gets my hair really, it gets it baby smooth. I love the way it looks, but I'm not willing to deal with that irritation no more. The bumps and stuff like that. And the funny thing about these, little side note here, I use these on my neck all the time. After I, go on my neck with the Andis T outliners and come afterwards with this. No irritation on my neck, but on my head, whole nother ball game. So those are my personal experiences. Feel free to chime in, you guys. Let me know what you guys think about that. I'm just being honest and letting you guys know how I deal and how I've dealt with razor bumps and irritation and things like that when it comes to having a bald head. All right, so just find what works best for you. Maybe going to the barber works best for you. I cut my own hair just to save money and things like that. My barber hasn't cut my hair in many years now. I think it's been at the very least like 4, maybe 5 years since the barber cut my hair. So I just cut it myself now. Maybe your barber does great and you never have any irritation with your barber. But I would even suggest, even if you do go to a barber and they're shaving you or whatever they're doing, you're using a depilatory, whatever it is that's going on right now, and you having a lot of irritation and stuff like that, I would just suggest, through my personal experience, it's just me. I'm not giving you professional advice. This is just me sharing my experience with the world, and hopefully it can help somebody. But what I would highly suggest is just stop, let your scalp heal, maybe even go to the dermatologist and have your skin checked out, because I think sometimes some of these things can be kind of permanent. I think, again, I'm not a professional though. But anyway, I would just suggest just stop, let your scalp heal, just be out here if you got to. It is what it is, If you got to go out here with bald spots and things like that, and it is what it is. At least you'll have a healthy scalp. You won't have bumps. You won't have scars and all that stuff on your scalp. So that's just my take on that. Find what works best for you. It's a lot of things out there. You got trimmers, shavers, skull shaver things. You got the razor blade. You can go to a professional barber, depilatory. I mean, with the depilatory stuff, it just smells really bad. I don't feel like dealing with that smell. And then sometimes too, it does irritate. So I hope that this video was helpful in some type of way. Just trying to give honest insight here through my experiences with handling razor bumps. And I'm just so thankful that over the course of the year, I mean, it took, I want to say, how long have I just been using the Andis T outliners only? I want to say at least 2 years that I've just been using the Andis T outliners only. And I kid you not, ever since I've been doing that, no irritation whatsoever. So find what works best for you. Find what gives you no irritation whatsoever. All right. Because of course you want to be comfortable out here, So that's just my take on that. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Feel free to subscribe. To the people who have subscribed to my channel already, thank you guys. I appreciate you guys so much. Peace out. Thank you guys for watching this video. Have a good one.